Unfortunately, a lot of people includes most of the people that are doing research in the area are still wondering what causes Alzheimer's. I think we know. And unfortunately, I think others know too. They're just not going there. Key in on the answer that Dale Bredesen gave me when I asked him this question.
The long form today is a favorite topic of mine. The number one risk of Alzheimer's. I get patients typically come to see me for things like, well, doc, I had a calcium score and it was 1,000, or I think I'm getting insulin resistant. I think I might have some diabetes or something. I'd like to get it checked out. I'm afraid I'm going to have a heart attack. And within a few months, they get comfortable that I've stabilized my heart attack risk and minimized it. I'm not really that worried about a heart attack. Here's my concern long term. I'm going to add a couple of decades of healthy life, but can I make sure that I'm not going to get disability associated with Alzheimer's? Cognitive decline. We used to do a lot of work. There's a fellow named Dale Bredesen. We used to do a lot of work with his program, and we just got so busy in terms of the physician partners Medicare Advantage program that we could not juggle all of that. As we're expanding again, we're starting to crank up. We may actually get back deeper into the Alzheimer's cognitive decline programs. Part of the problem with them before was that they were so personnel intensive. Now we're starting to bring on more personnel, so we'll be looking at that over the next few months. But this is going into depth in terms of the association between prediabetes, diabetes, insulin resistance, and Alzheimer's. It was interesting. I was one of Bredesen's training programs for his network of Alzheimer's providers. He came up and asked me after a 2-day training program on it, and he said, "What did you think?" And I said, "Well, I was trying to be polite, but raise my major concern." I said, we had 2 days here, and about half an hour to an hour was on prediabetes, insulin resistance." And he looked at me and he said, "Yeah." Again, being overly polite, I said, "Well, in my mind, at least half of Alzheimer's is associated with prediabetes." And he immediately jumped in and he said, "No, I don't think so." He said, "I think it's all associated with prediabetes and diabetes," which is closer to what I had felt too, at least my understanding at the time. Then he went into a mechanism that I was very much aware of. He didn't expect me to be, but it's something that's very intriguing to me. He said, there's a thing for people that have Alzheimer's. We think there's a thing called central nervous system insulin resistance. See, the brain forms memories using insulin. Insulin is part of the memory forming mechanism. In fact, there were a couple of universities, especially Wake Forest, that did some research on inhaled nasal insulin to help people with Alzheimer's form memories. The studies did not work, so they're not really proceeding with those, at least at this point. But it raises the issue of central nervous system insulin resistance. Now, what I didn't bring up and discuss with Bredesen was that in my mind, a lot of these people that he and his folks thought didn't have, in air quotes, didn't have insulin resistance, actually had insulin resistance, but just were not being diagnosed. So as you see, there's a huge set of stories and interactions between insulin resistance, prediabetes, diabetes, and Alzheimer's risks. Looking to improve your health and add decades to your life? Join me and the PrevMed team December 1st and 2nd in Tampa, St. Pete for the Heart and Stroke Prevention event. This is an event, not just a conference. You'll not only learn how to prevent heart attack and stroke using my battle-tested methods, you'll also access accurate, predictive testing that the majority of physicians never use because they don't know how. All you need to do is click the link below this video or simply go to PrevMedHealthTampa.com to sign up. Hope to hear from you. Thanks.